Hi there and welcome to Carcassonne with today with yet another friendly preseason match before this year's edition of the WTCOC. It's the Ukrainians again, this time versus Belgium, and I have to applaud both captains for getting not just 5, 7 or 9 players, but 11 players each to play this friendly match. That's just insane dedication by both these teams. As you might be accustomed to, I've already checked the history for all the duels from today. And as you can see on the left side, a few of them actually have quite some history. So especially Lawyer versus Gina have played quite a lot before. Let's check if these games are more recent. And they are not. Actually, the only one I'd consider recent is this one from January. Everything else is 2 or more years ago. So we really shouldn't put much into this. With 11 duels, it's highly unlikely we'll see even the most of them, and therefore, as yesterday, we split these. So the tables 1 to 6 are covered by Nallerheim. So if you're interested in everything from Max Decay versus Learn to Fly to Spitgy versus Crafty Raff, just switch. And if you'd rather watch anything from the bottom 5 matches, or rather duels, you are very welcome to follow my stream. If you prefer a specific duel, just say so, else I decide myself which one to cover. So now just reload this and check which games are already running, and this looks like all of them. So let's just start with Zaharik for once, because the last time I would have liked to cover him, this didn't work out. So the colors work out quite nicely. The Belgium Ludo Jar Jar in yellow and Zaharik plays the blue meeples. The Belgium has already taken an 8-point city in the middle, but the Ukrainian got a monastery to offset these 8 points, at least more or less. There's an empty city cap, which someone for sure will snatch ASAP. But right now, the Harik has to decide what to do with the curve, and going over here, attacking yellow's road would have been one option. Instead, he opts to take a loop road, creating a juicy monastery spot on the way. Yellow snaps the city cap, and Zaharik doesn't attack over here because this would also endanger his city cap on the left side. Now Ludo might just go on the left and meeple the city part, not letting blue just close their city with a simple cap and then maybe attacking the road. Zaharik now will attack yellow's city, of course. Yellow closes the road, starts a new one, doesn't take the road leading to Blue's monastery, of course, because then they need to add 1 point to this, which they'd rather prevent. Blue takes the 2 points, also obstructing yellow's road, which is troublesome because someone would go over here, and it's likely to be the Ukrainian. For example, the rotor would work quite nicely and then limit this square, maybe even kill this. In the meantime, yellow continues the city on the left, trying to block Blue's road meeple. Blue gets a second monastery, just like he envisioned. Yellow tries to attack the city from the bottom, but now this actually is quite problematic for them, because even if they'd get a triple city tile, they'd endanger their road on the right side, and if they could close their road, for example, with a rose, then they would create problems for the city on the left. So not an ideal situation, and that's why they opt out of this, just taking +4 points in this city fight and a 6-point field. And now Zaharik might take this field here, maybe trying to create problems for yellow city on the right side, and only leaving a road monastery spot behind. The other option, of course, just to close your loop road, which he does. Ludo now still with this quite iffy configuration, because he'd rather use a straight or straightish tile or a curve like this to protect this square, and also their connection to extend the field. But whichever piece he puts there, this also creates problems for the city on the left. So no ideal situation here. He'd rather at first extend their city and then solve this one on the right side. He creates a pre-block up top, so any road here would create problems for this square, because one right-handed dagger is already gone. Blue obstructs yellow's road, still 3 starting tiles remaining, but this also adds a platform to create havoc for yellow city on the left side. So yellow now could take this monastery. I don't see why they wouldn't. Else there's this option up top. And I have technical difficulties again, which should be solved now. So blue with a straight has no really good options. Maybe going over here and then killing this. But this more or less helps yellow, because then they could prevent the attack. Just taking the field is quite a useful move. Yellow doesn't get anything to defend their city, and still not, but a second road monastery is enough compensation. They gladly take this and meeple it, of course. Blue again with a straight Can't really go over here because that more or less would kill the city meeple on the left side here. So now they opt for the blocking move here. Yellow might defend indirectly this way, so they could then fully protect their road with a straight. Else, of course, there's extending a city on the left side, but that would lead to a situation where both these squares are blocked to a starting tile, which you'd rather prevent if you can. Blue might now just take 3 points. Else there is going over here and blocking yellow city, plus taking a 3-point road. And because scoring these 3 points over here could create slight problems for your monasteries, because it would create a platform for yellow to attack or obstruct. This one at the bottom wouldn't have been the worst move. Instead, he takes this, endangering, as I said earlier, this meeple. Well, you must. Yellow finally gets a city plus field tile to add something to their city and gets attacked immediately by blue. Instead, blue could have taken this city here just as compensation if yellow were to get the starting tile. And then you could easily add more pieces to this on the right side. I think this move here more or less is just a block because it prevents the monastery from completion. So some sort of the famous Ukrainian technique. Now blue goes for the destructive move. Could have also meepled this monastery up top for 6 points. But this way, killing this square and yellow's meeple also limits yellow's field, separates it from blue's field on the left side. And now he likely will try to kill this square as well, just to cement his meeple majority. Yellow in the meantime kills this square. So that's a 2 versus 1 meeples mini battle. Right now 12-1 points for yellow, so 11 points for the second meeple, which is quite good, and therefore this is okay. But the problem is that they already have this blocked meeple on the right side and a field meeple, which will stay there until the end of the game. And this situation here. So they need to solve this config at the bottom quite fast and not let blue run away with their meeple majority. So this block is quite useful. It binds at least one of blue's meeples, quite likely for a longer time. Blue takes the same approach. There are only 2 tiles left that fit there. All 4 cows are gone, so there's only 1 horse and a quadruple city left. So it's rather unlikely that yellow will get these 2 meeples back sometime soon. Taking the 3-point road for yellow isn't without risks. There are only 5 road ends left. When they placed this was one more because blue just got crossroad. There's another one gone. So only 3 crossroads plus the last horse, which they already need over here. So this meeple, because it's the last of yellow, was quite risky, even though it's just a simple road. And actually not really blocking moves inside. Now that blue got a quadruple city, total kill of this square might happen right now, but it doesn't even need to, because blue just got the last big city tile. And therefore this is dead for good. These meeples as well. So now if we consider yellow's farmer dead as well, and of course these by blue, I don't see any way how yellow would get back into this game, even though right now the score might still be roughly equal. They need to liberate this one, but then how to counter 3 free meeples by blue? I don't like yellow's chances here. So let's check how far along others are. And we actually picked one of the 2 slowest games of the bunch. So considering blue very likely will run away with this game, I'd rather switch to a game that's closer to the end. Let's, for example, check out Nazario. And let's have a look how many tiles days have left. And this game is more or less over. Okay. And taking another one. So this one looks quite lopsided for Lawyer. The 33 points on the scoreboard. Does yellow have anything to show for them? There is a yellow field here, but it's only worth 9 points. In addition, there's this one, but this square is dead because 4 crossroads are already gone. So even if this attack works out for yellow, I don't see them coming back into this game. There's a 9-point ruin up top for blue. Yellow connects, but likely this will only be scoreboard cosmetics. So let's quickly calculate this. Yellow has 6 plus 8, 14, then 9, 23, minus 8 from blue, so 15, plus 6, 21, minus 3, 18, minus 9, 9 points for yellow, but 25 points behind on the scoreboard. So 16 points lead for blue. And that's with only 3 moves to go. Both road monasteries are gone. 7 points for yellow. So 9 points lead for blue. They might now just take 4 points, either with the road or the city cap. This here works out to 4 points as well, because they'd score 7, but yellow's farmer would get 3 points. And I don't see any feature that's worth more than 4 points. Style points to them for scoring just a simple road and killing a city cap, which yellow could have taken. Now yellow will just take 3 points somewhere. And there aren't any open fields for them, so this ruin might just be it. Right now, with the 3 points already included, blue's ahead 10 points, if I'm not mistaken. Blue scores another 6. Nope, not 6. 9, but yellow gets 3. So net 6 plus the 1 equals 7, minus 6 for yellow. So 11 points for blue in the end. Let's see. Lawyer Gina, 11 points it is. And now let's check if Zaharek is still leading the game in a lopsided manner. Yep, this should work out for them. Has a nice 9-point field up top, plus 8 points for this monastery here. More or less equal with these monasteries. But the scoreboard lead of 22 points takes care of the rest. So let's check Trinidad EC and Fabian Mouton. This looks like a rather blocky affair. Only 37 to 22 with 3 tiles remaining. Quite nice. But blue very likely finally gets a dagger to score some points. And this looks quite close, but there is this field up top here. But this is more or less equalized by yellow's road. So the road scores 10, the field scores 9, which is plus 1 for yellow, plus 2, plus 11, plus 3, minus 3 yellow, plus 3 yellow, plus 2 yellow, plus 4 blue, plus 3 yellow. Let's see. Nope. Minus 4. Okay. So let's go to random 23 and nice dicer. Fairly close game in the first. And this here looks quite equal as well. Blue is quite likely to get one of the 3 remaining cows to equalize the city. There likely will be a field fight. 2 farmers already in play. More will be dropped once it's possible. And random 23 likely now going try and create problems for yellow's monastery. Yellow takes a simple city. Blue creates a nice monastery spot for the next to take. And yellow is a bit more likely because it's their move. But they only get a horse, which in this case, when your opponent needs at least 1 out of 3 to connect to your city, actually might be considered good news. But what to do with this right now? This block here works. You could have also considered the direct option and then trying to block blue's city to the left side, so it would need a dagger, but with still 2 left-handed daggers available, this really isn't worth your moves. So this here creates problems as is, even though blue is able to use a splitter over here. They'd also need a city cap at the bottom of this city. Blue taking a road monastery, but creating a juicy for 5 points road for anyone to take, but 3 field crossroads are already gone, so the risk is mild. Yellow gets a monastery to take the juicy spot thanks to blue. Blue putting the city cap to the left side to close their city and then meeple a farm to attack. Or rather, no, it's an attack. These 2 are connected to the monastery spot right now. So yellow could now go over here, take 2 points, and then try to prevent this field attack by blue. Instead, they opt to create problems for blue's monastery. And trying to obstruct blue's city wouldn't have worked anyway. But that's actually not a good reasoning. Hindsight is hindsight, and probabilities are probabilities. So taking a loop road still might be worth it. There's also the bigger 6-point loop, but a lot of straight tiles and especially crossroads are already gone. So the simple one might work better, in this case at least. If they decide to do this, they'd have to take it from the left. If they leave this empty, this works because it also creates a blocking option to crossroad, and as I already said, many crossroads are gone. There's only one rose left. So blocking this and that square actually is possible. Blue could protect this top square, so the two remaining vanillas would fit there. Instead, he just dumps the Dorito up top, and yellow attacks the field. Also doesn't go for a block, and hopes to snatch this city cap or at least obstruct or attack Blue's city on the left side. Meanwhile, Blue's monastery is killed. Their city on the right side is still quite iffy. Blue indirectly protects. So yellow would need a road Dorito or the remaining cow to attack Blue city, but they'd gladly take the quadruple city to prevent Blue's extender city from closing. And now this is quite unlikely to close. Still one cow left. And if Blue doesn't get it, things would be looking pretty dire for them. One meeple blocked, another one more or less dead. And yellow has two meeples more in hand and could also rather easily liberate another one. They won't, at least I hope they won't, with this Dorito. Too useful a tile in this case. I could even consider attacking this just to prevent Blue from drawing a cap and then a splitter on the right side to liberate their meeple and enjoy a 10-point city. Else there could be this attack. And they take the safe route on the right side. So if Blue would get the splitter, yellow themselves could take this city. For at least 12 points. Blue still has hope for the city, of course. There are two road Doritos still available. But no regular Doritos, so the usual shape likely won't work out unless they opt to take the splitters there, or one splitter and maybe the last road Dorito if they'd get both. But right now they just rejoice because they got the cow. Followed by bad news for them because yellow just got the first splitter. So the game is still tied. Scoreboard lead of 5 points is offset by this city on the left side. So whoever can take this field should have a very good position to win this. And yellow's attack over here isn't really easy to block, and especially not now, because they could defend over here. So the last remaining starting tile couldn't be used there to block this to the remaining root monastery. Else they could opt to go over here and then hope to get another straightish tile there. Instead, they just take the 6 points on the left side. But I think that might be a miss, because if blue gets a simple vanilla, they'd kill this square, as all 4 regular monasteries are gone. And there aren't really that many straight or straightish tiles left. Actually, there's only 1 straight left and the starting tile. So this connection here is rather unlikely right now. There's still the option of getting a curve and then the road monastery, but the road monastery would work at the bottom as well. So now blue could actually limit this to the 50-50, and I think they should. And that's exactly why a straight over here would have been quite nice. Wow. But yellow gets immediately saved by the deck by getting the road monastery to fill the evil hamster for 9 points. And a field takeover. Field now being worth 21 points, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, looks like it. This city up top might be added sometime soon with another road tile. This here is dead because all 3 right-handed daggers are gone. So blue might now think about attacking the field over here. But their problem is that all crossroads are gone. So any curvy tile would kill this square immediately. And even if they'd get the connection, I think they would still be behind. Yes, for sure. Because blue has this 6-point field. An 8-point monastery for 14 points. Plus 6 on the scoreboard for 20. These 2 on the right side are equal, and blue's only feature actually scoring points is this 10-point ruin. So even if blue were to connect, yellow would still be... Nope, not 10 points. I missed this dead monastery. So 4 points ahead by yellow if blue were to connect. So there's still a chance. Because there's still the second dagger out there. Yellow shouldn't consider liberating their monastery and creating another attacking option. So just playing it safe. Maybe going on the right side. Or just killing both city caps up top. Might be okay. All daggers are gone. So city cap here would indeed be dead. Meanwhile, Rally 8 has won the first duel for Belgium with a decider against Erva Atoll. Nice dice are taking their time, quite likely figuring out the tiles left. Maybe I should do the same. So cows gone, quadruple city gone, there's still one horse left. No extenders, no vertical splitters. One diagonal splitter left. There's still one straight left. No starting tile, no dagger. No crossroads. No road Doritos, no regular Doritos. No monasteries. And then there should be quite a few curves. Looks like 2. And blue gets one to connect. Yellow decided to just add 1 point to their city part on the right side. And now gets the splitter to take another 4 points. So these 5 points should add to yellow's lead, which by now should be 9 points. So trouble for blue now is they could score these 4 points, but then they'd also deliver a 6-point field, which quite likely yellow would snap up immediately, but I think they still have to go for it because there is one horse left, and with the horse yellow couldn't take the 6-point field, and then it would be blue to take it on their last turn. And I think considering their deficit, they should go for this. Else there is, I think this is the penultimate vanilla, so you could also attack over here actually. So putting it here, meepling the field. And if my calculations are right, that's your only chance to win this game, because you have to score more than these 10 points they could take on the right side. So the same permutation, they need yellow to draw the last horse, but maybe I'm mistaken and I just haven't found the last. Yeah, I did actually. So this option was there, but it was only a 1 in 6 chance, because they would have needed yellow to get the horse and then themselves get the last cap. Or if they would have decided to put the vanilla this way, they would have needed yellow to get the straight and then the cap to attack the field and win the field actually. So with 21 points on the field, minus these 6 or rather 5 because yellow also scored one, this would have worked out for blue. Instead, they just took points and had a winning probability of 0. So what shall we check now? Let's go back to Fabien Mouton versus Trinidad EC. They should have still 3 to 4 tiles left. And making quick sense of this. Blue by 4. 8, 13, 17, minus 11, so 6. And another 6, 12. But these 6 equal these 6. But yellow's field up here for 18, 21 points even. So plus 15 plus the 4 plus 19. Let's see if this better. Plus 15. Okay, so maybe I have counted some 4 points. Double or whatever. Next. Let's get an end game with a few more tiles. We'll actually have a chance to get it right this time. So this looks like yellow's, no, actually yellow doesn't care about the quadruple crossroad because this square is shared, both the road and the monasteries. So this would only score 2 points extra for them, and these they could get somewhere else too. So 1 point on the scoreboard, plus 8. 9 points for yellow. Tied ruin on the left. 9 points for blue for this field. So this is equal. These 9 points put blue ahead by 8. But this field configuration puts yellow in the lead by 4 for now, because the option of getting the last road monastery or a curve is still viable for blue. Let's count the curves real quick. Yeah, looks like there's still one out there. So yellow scored 3 for plus 7, blue got 4. So yellow plus 3, but a bunch of meeples in their hand. So an attack on this ruin on the left side could be considered if there are still tiles to go there. But directly taking 6 points is actually the better move. And I even missed that these here aren't connected, and I think I scored 9 points for blue. So I'd actually have to deduct these. And look at that. An attack on the left side would have worked, but they just played safe. Take another 6 points. Well, I think they are gonna take their time accurately checking every option. So let's tabulate the points. So blue has a 9-point rune on the right side and a 6-point field and another 6-point field. Yellow has 2 6-point fields up top and at the bottom, and there are 12 points in the middle, plus a scoreboard lead of 7. So 10 points lead for yellow it is. Blue just connects the 2 6-point fields. We can wipe these. The reason for this move is they'd likely wanna attack here to take these 9 points. And of course still hope to get over there to take another 6 points, which would add up to 15 and put them ahead by 5 points. Else, whoa, didn't even notice this evil hamster here. So blue needs the monastery, and right now, because else there's no field attack. And if they attack the field, it could be quite tough for them. And they even need to avoid this because yellow could unite these two here and then the curve take over this huge 18-point field with 2-to-1 meeples. So the road monastery, as is very often the case, quite an impactful tile. Thanks, Kolpnik. So Kolpnik just informed me that in the game of Trinidad EC versus Fabian Mouton, the first game was lost by Trinidad EC on time. So actually this should be, can't draw this precise, 0-2. Yeah, I wish PGA would put the clock violations on the first page of games and not just bury it down in the details. But I guess I'll take a look at adding some code to get these out of there. Anyway, so yellow just dumped this. Actually not fearing any attack, and I'm not sure this is warranted. So what's left? There's the road monastery and a regular one as well. There are no crossroads. Blue just decides to add 1 point to the ruin. But this allows yellow to take 4 points, and so now blue, even with the road monastery, has lost the game. And yellow gets the last curve. just to rub it in. Taking 6 points here. Instead, they go for the attack. What's then left? There's no vanilla. There's no verticals. Oh, there. The monastery, of course. Which is what I said. But blue can block this. So this actually quite a wasted move by yellow. Because they should have known that blue were able to block this. But actually doesn't really matter. So these two will play a decider, and Lawyer Gina are already playing theirs, as are Random 23 and Nice Dicer. Let's reload again, check if one of these are playing faster, and yeah, as I expected, these aren't the fastest guy on Earth. But the other half were playing a bit quicker, so Learn to Fly, Obi Wonder, one for Belgium, Basiliuk added a point for Ukraine. The same goes for Nazario versus NTXU. So let's take a look at Lawyer versus Gina. And hope this gets a tad closer than the first one. Only got close in the end. This looks like quite an interesting board situation here. So for now, this huge field is a yellow one, but it should be quite likely that blue will get their third farmer on there as well. Even though there is only one crossroad left. So this square is already near dead. But on the right side there are still 3 straights left. And quite likely at least 3 curves. Let's count 4 curves. So still enough tiles to go here. Let's check the blocking tiles. 2 right-handed daggers. These up top are left-handed, so if yellow were to block, this would be a 50-50 as well as on the left side. And how about starting tiles? 3 in play, so still 1 left. Yellow liberates their meeple from the monastery, adding another one for 6 points in the process, and also has a nice lead on the scoreboard of 19 points. So the field is worth 8 cities. Yep, 8 cities, so 24 points. This city up top could still be closed with the last starting tile, and this also adds another field attacking option, but a rather desperate one. Yellow gets the last crossroad, so this square is dead. And now blue has to answer a tricky question. Do you go over here to equalize the field? Or do you close your city? This is your last chance to do so. And he opts to close the city, still hoping to get a normal road tile to connect there. But now yellow up top attacks. And this ain't easily blocked with the curve. There's still 2 monasteries left. So this way doesn't really help. Because there is a vanilla cap as well. So in this case, 3 pieces. And the other way would still leave curves and the road monastery. So you might indeed be better served by waiting for anything with a city piece on the right side. Yeah, this is a nice defense by yellow. Because the only option for blue to be successful with their attack is getting the road monastery, but this would also bring another of yellow's farmers to the field. But considering the deficit on the scoreboard, taking the 9 points might still be necessary. Then you still have a fighting chance, even though this only adds 6 points because you lose a 6-point field and yellow only loses a 3-point field. And of course I forgot to wipe the calculation on the right side again and again. At least it didn't block any pieces this time. So this actually is rather easy here. We could consider these monasteries equal, even though blue scores 1 point extra. And it doesn't really matter. It's the field. And whoever wins this field wins the game. But because of the scoreboard lead, a tied field would be sufficient for yellow in this case. Let's check developments and other duels. And oh, this is nice. For 6 concurrently running deciders, we definitely need more streamers to cover these friendlies here. Yellow even goes for a more or less self-block because they notice that there aren't that many city plus field tiles still in a deck because all Doritos are gone, both splitters are gone, and there is only 1 vanilla cap remaining. But there still are 2 cows. So the cow over here would have been a 50-50 block of this attack. But this also allows other sorts of blocks. And that's why blue did go there. Although this wastes a precious move, they need to get a 5th farmer on the field to win this here. And maybe I haven't counted all tiles, but liberating their monastery and then hoping for a ninja attack could have been considered. Else there is this ninja attack. Let's check the curvy tiles. There's no road Dorito left. The daggers are gone. I think I've counted them before. Did I? Yes, I did. Daggers are gone. How about curves? Are they still out there? There's still 2 out there. Yep. So still 2 curves out there. So this here actually is dead in the water, and yellow still has 2 to connect. And now blue goes for the ninja, but yellow gets a curve. So even if blue is successful at the bottom, yellow will win this game for Ukraine to equalize the match scoreboard at 3 wins piece. Meanwhile, Nice Dicer has scored another win for Belgium, for a total of 4 right now. So in the end, this year should be at 15 to 20 points. Oh, even 21. And there are only 2 duels still running. One of Crafty Wrath will end shortly, but Zaharik and Ludo Jaja still have half a game left. They are taking their sweet time. So let's devote our time to their duel. So, what's up here? Yellow with a 15-point scoreboard lead. And quite frightened that blue could take over this large city here, which is, even if it were ruined now, 14 points worth. So if blue can connect on the right side with 2 Doritos, this would have been a 34-point city at least. So even if blue owns this field in the middle for 9 points, I would have liked them to be a bit more patient on the right side and just wait for an attacking possibility here. Because this feature could have put them ahead for good. But they decided to go the safe route because this drastically reduces chances to attack from the bottom. If you'd go here, there'd only be 1 road Dorito left to close this city, plus 1 horse to then close it, the city cap, and your opponent would for sure try to kill it. Blue gets the last road Dorito. Meeples the city. Hopes to close it soon. But this looks more endangered than it actually is. There are still all 3 right-handed daggers in the deck. So even if yellow would try to obstruct this, they need at least 3 pieces to kill it for good. Meanwhile, blue closes the huge city and takes a 6-point field. And this field won't get united with the middle one because both road monasteries are already gone. Blue adds the Dorito to the city, which actually makes the completion more unlikely, maybe, because 2 daggers of the left-handed variety, which blue would need now if yellow were to obstruct from the top, are already gone. And all vanilla caps, which blue could use there to close their city, are gone as well. So there's the diagonal splitter and there are 2 vertical splitters left, plus the 1 dagger to close this. So only 4 city caps to immediately close it. And now yellow gets the perfect tile going over here. With the dagger, blue would have needed to close the city now, but they can't because it's the 3rd one. And that's why this year, as good as it may look on first sight, might actually not be the best move in that case. Because if yellow would have tried to kill this, there would still have been options to protect. But overall, I think both solutions might have the same probability of closing your city in the end. And so, of course, you'd prefer a city that has 2 more points. So right now, blue's field on the right side is offset by yellow's field on the left side. The 16 points on the scoreboard aren't offset by these 9 plus 4, 13 points. So yellow is +3, +8 with the monastery. Blue obstructs this road here and also limits yellow's field. Yellow scores another 3 points for +11 lead. And now there's the question for blue. How you score a lot of points with your 3 meeples and only 9 moves to go. And this one here actually doesn't score you any points. Maybe it's an hallucination, hoping to get road monastery, but they are already gone. Wow, that's nice. That's really nice. Neat find by yellow. It's actually quite tough to block. all horses are gone and there's no rotary to left, but there is at least one tile to close this. I think there's still a starting tile left. Yes, there's the starting tile left, and the starting tile would be the only piece to block this to a starting tile, so you can only put this in one of these squares. So either blue gets this or yellow runs away with the game, because in addition to the city, they'd score 5 points for the road as well. But blue at least limits this city at the bottom to the same piece. Or one of the daggers, which there should still be 2 remaining. Yeah, these 2 points, they aren't worth it. Is there still a curve remaining? Then you should have gone over here and gone for a 5-point road. Let's count real quick. Yeah, looks like there's still 1 curve remaining, so more risk is necessary if you want to win this duel. Blue gets one of the daggers to score 7 minus the 1 point for yellow's monastery. So this gets closer now. Let's add these points up. So blue has 9 points in ruins, 6 points for field on the right side, 12 for the field in the middle. Yellow has 6 points on the left side for field, 5 points for the still viable city, and 2 points for the other city, plus a scoreboard lead of 22. So 8 points ahead, and yellow even has 1 meeple more in hand. And blue just has to dodge the city caps still out there. Especially, of course, the starting tile. So yellow just takes 3 points on the right side, adding this to their lead. And blue thinks about how to score a lot of points, and with a straight, I don't see any good option actually. This board is just so dry. There's still this one here, and then little curve getting 5 points, but man. So I think you have to go here and then hope for the starting tile. So go there, meeple the field, attack this, and hope to get the starting tile for another 5 points. So this would be an 11 points sequence, but even that quite likely won't win you the game. Let's see if blue can't find this. And look out for other options here. And what's even left? So no big tiles. Oh, there's still crossroads. No crossroads. No. Just one right-handed dagger. One curve. I think still one straight. Yep, even counting the one in blue's hand right now. No field Dorito. There should still be a diagonal splitter. No vertical splitter, no vanilla cap. And no extender. So yeah, I think the sketched move might be your best bet. And blue concurs. Good on them for finding this. But yellow might now just take these 3 points at the bottom because they'd score 4 points for the city plus 2 points. 6, but we'd have to deduct the 3 points blue would net for having the majority on the field. So in this case, just taking 4 points is actually better because blue surely would use the starting tile on the left. And maybe I miscalculated. Yeah, Nicholas, you're right. Could have taken a 6-point field here, which also would have added 3 points to yellow's field, even though that's now tied. Yeah, I quickly forgot about the last splitter. I think I named it. So going over here was actually worse because blue could have gotten the splitter and then taken 7 points. So the field on the left side is equalized. Yellow scores another 4 points. And this game is over. Even though blue found this one quite nice, but it won't work out in the end for them. The scoreboard lead of yellow was just too huge. Three points in the end. Yep, it got close. Pretty close. But considering blue got all the optimal moves and pieces in the end, and yellow, even as Nicholas pointed out, made a mistake by going over here with the dagger instead of taking this 6-point field and still having an attacking option. Let's check out the final situation. Still have this attacking option to take over the field again with the curve. Yep, even many different permutations would have won yellow the game. And not just the curve, straight as well. So in the end, there's still a game running. No, there is not, because this one here was the game where the Ukrainian lost on time in their first game. So actually, it's a 6-5 win for the Belgians here. Yep, and Saharek is saying it. Our first loss. Ukrainians seem to play friendlies more or less each other day. And so I think they have won 6 or 7 so far. But this time, the Belgians have won. Oh, and they even had a side bet running. Yeah, nice for them. And I hope this was at least a bit interesting. Still have to iron out some kinks before the WTCOC starts. So keep looking at Carcassonne.gg for the next friendly matches and stream announcements. Or of course, subscribe not just to my channel, but to Nalaheim and Alexi as well, if you haven't done so. Have a nice evening if you're somewhere in Europe. Else, a nice day. See you around. Bye bye.